Hi guys, so we are going to be creating a real estate flyer in this class, okay? But before we get started, I just want to share some important tips with you, especially when you are trying to create a real estate flyer, okay? So the purpose of creating your real estate flyer in the first place is to attract a potential buyer, right? So you want to make sure that the most important informations about the property you are selling is on the flyer, no matter how small the flyer is going to be, either it's an e-flyer or a printable flyer. Okay, so the first thing you want to add to your flyer is the name of the property. If the property has a name, if it's estate property, it has a name: Southern Gate Commercial, Achievers Court, Grand Estate. If it has a name, you want to make sure that the name is appearing on the flyer. Then the other thing you also want to add on your flyer, okay, are the features of the property. Either it's a landed property or a house. Like for landed property, you want to talk about topography. Is it a dry land or swampy land? You want to talk about how far it is to the main road. You want to talk about the serenity of the environment. And if it's a house, you want to tell us if it has swimming pool. A lot of people like space, so you want to talk about the parking space, if it has ample parking space. You want to talk about lights, which is very essential. You want to tell us if it's 24 hours power supply. You want to talk about the security, if it has swimming pool, if all the bedrooms are all en suite. So these are all the informations you want to have on your flyer. But if you have a lot of features for the property that everything cannot go in on your flyer, you want to make sure that you pick the most important ones, like security, like power supply, water supply. Those are major features that people really want to know about when it comes to a house, either they are buying or they are renting. Okay, then the next information you want to have in your flyer is the price. And if you also have installment payment plan, you want to add that, because some people might see your flyer, they like the property, but they cannot afford to pay for it at once. So they if you tell them that you have installment payment plans, it can encourage them to further invest in that property. Then the next thing is you want to add the location of the property, but you want to make sure that you do not add the full address, like number 3 Basharon Street, okay, Ado Ibadan. Like you're giving them full address. No, you just want to give them probably a landmark or just the area name, maybe Aja, Lekki, Ikoyi, or a landmark to indicate the location. Okay, then the next thing, which is also very vital, is the contact information. Either you're making the flyer for yourself or you're making for other people, you want to make sure that their contact is on that flyer, their phone number or WhatsApp or email address or their website. This is so that anybody that sees the flyer and is interested in the property would be able to contact the person. Okay, now let's get down to the styling. So for this flyer that we're about to create, I'm going to be using the color blue, I'm going to be using yellow and white. And for fonts, I'm going to be working with League Spartan, I'm going to be working with Cooper Hewitt, and I'm also going to be working with Arimo. These are all free fonts on Canva that you can easily use if you are using the free version of Canva. I also want to use the contact icon, and I'm also going to use the image of a house. So if your flyer is about selling a house, you want to make sure that you're using the image of the house you're selling, or maybe a 3D representation of the house, just to give people idea of what the house is going to look like or what it looks like. But if it's a landed property, you do not want to use the image of a vacant land. So most of the time you can just pick any nice picture of a house on the internet and place on your flyer. I believe a lot of you would have seen that. Okay, so let's get started with our designing. Now that we know how we're going to style our flyer and the most important informations that should be on our flyer. So in this case, I am going to be using the dimension of Instagram 1080 by 1080, which is the square dimension. Okay, so you want to click on create design, and I'm just going to pick Instagram post. As you can see, it's 1080 by 1080. I sometimes use 1080 by 1080 or 1080 by 1350, which is Instagram portrait. You see me work with that during this class. Okay, so but in this case we are going to be using this dimension. Okay, so like I told you, I'm going to be using blue, so which simply means that I can decide to use a blue background for my flyer, but because I'm dramatic when it comes to content creation, I rarely use plain colors for my background, especially when I'm designing a flyer or a poster. Okay, I like using textures, so I'm going to show you how I go about that. So you want to come to photos and you want to search for blue textured background, blue textured background. So sometimes you might not see the image you want to use in the free version. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to search for such on Google, download it, and then upload it on Canva. Okay, so as you can see, this is what I'm going to use. Okay, it's not free, you can see it's for pro users alone. So how do you go about getting yours? So let me quickly show you guys. You want to open your browser, okay, and you want to type in blue, okay, textured background. Okay, as you can see on your screen, you can see a lot of them. Okay, so you can just click on images and voila, you have a whole lot of them. So this is something like what I just used right now. Okay, so all you want to do is you want to save this image either on your system or on your phone. If you are using your phone, it's no problem, you can practically do everything I'm doing on your phone. So you want to click on this and save it on your mobile phone or your system. Okay, anyone you choose, make sure it is not watermarked, make sure the image you choose is not watermarked. Okay, so these are close to exactly what I used. Okay, so you can pick any one of your choice, save it, and then you come back, you can see upload here, then you can upload media. So when you click on upload media, you'll be able to upload the blue textured background that you have saved either on your phone or on your system. So I think we're good with that, so let's get going. So the name of our property is called Aura Residence. Aura Residence is a proposed terrace building at Abidjan, developed by my real estate company. Actually, yes, I'm a real estate entrepreneur. Okay, so Aura Residence, because I'm going to be using a different styling for Aura and Residence, so I'm not just going to continue Residence here, I'm going to bring in another font, another text box to type in Residence. Okay, Residence, are we good? Yeah, so I'll place this here. So before I get going, I want to insert my image so that I'll be able to rearrange everything I'm doing properly. Okay, so what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to go to frame. I'm going to go to frame. Frame allows you insert image. It allows you to insert image into a shape. Okay, so the frame that I used is Sydney Morning Herald, I think. So kindly take note of the things that I'm searching for. Yeah, Sydney Morning Herald, as you can see on the screen, that's the image I use. So I'm going to be using the right frame. As you can see, this is a left frame, this is a right frame, so I'm going to be using this in creating this design. Okay, so I'm just going to drag it. Okay, I'm just going to drag it a little bit, and then you want to make sure that you align everything properly. So that pink line you see on your screen is indicating where you divide my dimension into two. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave it like this for now. Let me adjust. So I'm just making sure that I'm aligning my elements properly. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to search for a house. Okay, so we go back to photos. Okay, and then we search for, let's search for 3D modern house. Okay, let's see if we get any. So as you can see, you have a lot of free of them. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you have about 6 free images, and these are lovely images, let me tell you, lovely ones. So I'm just going to be picking this. Let's pick this. Okay, so I'm going to drag it into this. So what I'm just going to do, by clicking twice on this, it allows you crop your image, so you can decide to drag it out. Can you see that? So I'm just going to drag it out a little bit and reposition my image appropriately. I want to make sure that the swimming pool is showing. Yeah, and here we have inserted our image. Okay, so I'm doing this so that I'll be able to rearrange everything else that I'm doing appropriately. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to click on this image and I want to lock it, so that anytime I'm working, I won't be able to drag it around. As you can see, I can't drag it. Okay, it's locked. So let's go back to Aura Residence. I told you that we're going to be working with 3 fonts: League, Spartan, Cooper Hewitt, and Arimo. So I'm going to be changing Aura into League Spartan. Okay, so this is League Spartan, LEAGUE. Okay, it's a free font on Canva, free. Okay, so you have it like this. Perfect. Okay, so we have, so I just want to adjust it a little bit. So I'm using 112 as the font size. Okay, font size is 112, and then I'm going to be changing residence into Cooper Hewitt. Note that there are certain fonts that are unpairable, and there are the ones that you can pair. Okay, so you don't just pick fonts, you have to make sure that these fonts are pairable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I drag it and is occupying the same space. So that's about so let's drag it out a little bit. Okay, so we have about 71. I'm just going to reduce this to 71. So I'm just going to reduce this to 71.1. okay, I want to make sure that it's on the same dimension. As you can see, it's practically sitting under Aura properly. Yeah, so now let's get back to Aura. We want to make a little bit adjustments to our fonts. Okay, so we want to give it a little bit of effect. So you click on Aura and you come to these 3 dots and then you see effects. Okay, so you want to click on effects and you want to click on shadow. As you can see the way the shadow is placed, so we need to edit the shadow. First thing foremost is I want to change the shadow background to something like gray. Yeah, a lighter shade of gray, as you can see. Then I also want to change this a little bit, not too obvious. It should be there, but it shouldn't be too obvious. Okay, so I think 17 is good. Then I also want to work on the direction. So as you can see, the direction, let's do -74. Then let's work on the transparency. Let's do 58, and then let's blur it a little bit to make it natural. Let's do 12. Perfect. Then we'll go back to residence. I told you we are going to be working with blue, white, yellow, so we are going to be making residence yellow. Okay, and That's that. We are not going to be adding any effect to that. This is perfectly done as it is. Okay, then the next thing I want to do is I want to show you where you're going to add your logo. Logo here. Okay, so when you're creating yours, maybe you want to add your logo, you can add your logo over there. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the line spacing. Okay, so and we're just going to place it here, around here. Let's place our logo here. Okay, now that we are done with this, the next thing we want to do is we just want to add something. We just want to spice our flyer up, or let's say spice the property up. Let's say luxury apartment in the heart of Lagos, because that's true. It's going to be a luxury apartment. Okay, using the keyword luxury alone attracts certain set of people. Okay, because luxury isn't cheap. So when you use the word luxury in creating the content, you know, it's going to attract buying audience, people, telling them this is not just any other property, this is a property that is well designed for the classy people. So we want to add luxury apartments. Okay, apartments in the heart of Lagos. The heart of Lagos. And then we want to make sure that we align this properly. Okay, so we are going to align. Okay, and we are going to do a little bit of adjustments. Okay, so we are going to first change the font to Arimo, which is our third font that we are working with. Okay, Arimo, perfect. Let's make it bold because we want people to see it. Then let's reduce the spacing a little bit, shouldn't be too far apart. And I think we should reduce the font a little bit. Okay, I think that's good enough. So you make sure you place it properly. Shouldn't be too close to the name of the property, but shouldn't be too far away also. So the next thing we want to do is we want to add our features. I told you this is very, very important in your flyer. Okay, so we want to add features and we want to make it League Gothic. Remember, we are working with 3 fonts: League Gothic, Cooper Hewitt, and Arimo. So we want to make it League Gothic and we want to make it underlined. Okay, and we're still going to retain the white color underlined. Okay, so we're still going to retain the white color. I'm just going to reduce this a little bit. Okay, perfect. So let's bring it here. Okay, so because this is a house, okay, so we are going to be adding some of the features of the property. So the first thing we want to add is all bedroom, okay, and suites. That means all the bedroom has its own bedroom and toilets. Okay, all bedroom and suites. Okay, perfect. And we're going to change the font to Arimo. All right, and we're going to make it bold and we're going to reduce a little bit. I think that's good. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste this. Okay, I've pasted it and I'm going to type in another feature of the property. So let's do 24 hours power supply. Okay, that's another feature of the property. So I'm just going to position it somewhere and I'm going to do copy and paste again, and I'm going to type in another feature. I think I want to type in how many bedroom. We have 4 bedroom in total. It's a 4-bedroom terrace. Okay, service. Okay, so I want to place that, and then I want to copy and paste another one and type in fully furnished. Okay, it's going to be a fully furnished apartment, fully furnished. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this here. So I'm still going to have to make adjustment to this. So you see why I have to insert this first, so that at the end of the day I'll be able to make the proper adjustments. So I want to type in another feature again. Swimming pool. I told you you have to add the most vital information, things that will attract a potential buyer to, want to make inquiries about the property. So the next thing is we want to talk about security. So security. Okay, and I think we are good with that. We are good with 6. Okay, so now I need to make a little bit of adjustment because my picture is too close to the features. So I want to make a little bit of adjustment, so I'll have to unlock. Remember, I have to lock it so that I won't have to, so I'm just going to make this little adjustment, just give it a little space so that people can easily read what I've written. Okay, and then I'm going to lock it. Locking it just helps me ensure that I'm not dragging it around while working. It's not disturbing me. Okay, then the next thing I want to add is I want to add a checkbox icon. Okay, so I'm going to come to elements and I'm going to type in checkbox. Check, say checkbox or a check mark. Okay, perfect. So I think we should do this. So let's do this, and this is a check mark, and I'm going to change it to yellow. Okay, and I'm going to place it here. All right, so I'm just going to copy and paste again and place it here. So you just have to make proper adjustment if there's need. Okay, so I need to make it a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to take this away. And as you can see, to make the work easy, I do a lot of copy and paste. Okay, it's just to make the whole work easy, so you don't have to be dragging one single element 10 times. Okay, so okay, so as you can see, the pink lines, it shows if everything I'm doing is properly aligned. They should be aligned. Okay, it's very essential. One word should not be going up and the other one going down. Your work had to look like it's being done by a professional, and these are what it takes to design on Canva like a professional. Ability to align. So you can see the pink line on your screen is showing the alignment, that my mark is well aligned. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste again, and then make sure, do you see that is aligned? Then another one again. Perfect, perfectly done. Right, so we have our features in place. So what next do we need to do? Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to add price. Okay, I want to add price. So I'm going to be working with another element, but in this case I'm just going to work with a shape. What I'm basically going to do is I'm going to rotate it 180 degree. Okay, 180 degree. I'm going to drag it down. Okay, yeah, and I'm just going to position it here and drag it out a little bit. So I'm going to change the color to blue, but I don't want the blue to be too light, so I'm just going to make it a little bit deeper. Okay, so I blend in with my background. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to add price start from. Okay, so I'm just, as you can see, I'm just copying and pasting to make the whole thing easier. Okay, price starts from. Okay, so because I'm using Arimo, so I don't need to stress myself. I can just do a little bit of copy and paste. So I want to push this up a little bit, and I want to put the price. As you can see, we have Naira sign here, but it's only available for pro users. So if you want to get a Naira sign, you have to go on Google, just the way I did with the background, and just the way I did with the background, and download a Naira sign. Okay, so I decided to use a pro version of Canva just to make the whole work easy and fast. But I know a lot of you will be using the free version of Canva, which is not an issue at all. All you need to do is just go to Google and search for anything you want, and that is why I'm making sure that the name of any of these elements that I use, I show them to you. And the truth is that I've also ensured that most of the elements that I use in this class are free. Okay, I've made sure that they are free. So I'm just going to position this properly. Okay, I want to make this also well aligned. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it out a little bit. So as you can see, when you're working, you have to do a lot of adjustments, which is no problem at all. Okay, so I want to change this to yellow. Okay, and that's that. So the next information I just want to add is something simple. I just want to say per unit. Okay, per units, and I'm not going to make it bold. Okay, I don't want it to be bold, so just going to click on it and then remove the bold effects. As you can see, guys, just position it somewhere. Okay, price start from 50 million naira per unit, and we're good. So the next thing we have to add is our contact, right? I told you contact information is vital. So you want to come to elements and you want to type contact, and then you're going to see a lot of icons, and I'll be using this. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to change it to white. Okay, perfectly done, and I'm going to bring it down here. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste this. So let's write for more info. Okay, for more info, let's make it bold. Let's make it bold. Yeah. Okay, for more info. Okay, so I want to bring in a new text box, and I'm just going to write a number. So let's just form a number: 333334444. So we're just going to form a number. Okay, and we are going to make our fonts Cooper Airways. Okay, drag it here. So I want the contact number to, you know, pop up better. Okay, so I think we are basically good. Can we make this bold? Okay, let's make this yellow, and let's make this one not bold. Okay, and we also want to make sure that it's aligned. Remember, that's what makes your work look professional. So guys, we have every information here. We have the name of our property, we have something to tell you that is a luxury apartment, we have the features, the price per unit, we have the contact information. What else? So I think I just need to add a little effect to this. Okay, so I'm just going to come back to our elements. Okay, I'm just going to come back to this frame. All right, and I'm going to fill in it with yellow, and I'm going to take it to the back. Okay, it's just to give this whole flyer a little bit of effects. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste this element again, and I am just going to bring it here. I'm just going to bring it here. Okay, and I'm going to take it back. Okay, we don't want it looking too big, it's just an effect. Okay, okay, very good. So I think I would like to add a little effect, one more effect, ribbon like. All right, type ribbon, and you have this free, guys. So let's see the name. The name is gold ribbon icon. Okay, so just pick it up, turn it around, and let's give our house a lovely ribbon. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure it is covering the edge of this. I don't want the edge showing, so I'm just going to do it like this. Okay, all right, and I think we are good, guys. We are practically done with creating our real estate flyer. Okay, so now this is a lovely flyer that you can definitely share with anybody, and you don't have to, send boring flyers to your clients. You don't have to use the same flyer as 1001 realtors out there.